I didn't really know how to post. I didn't know how to really sell myself. I was that much of a technophobe. I'd never heard of ChatGPT. We're a husband and wife team. We're a family business. There's no side hustle. There's no extra income. There's no extra jobs coming from anywhere. It's literally all or nothing, me and him. Be really consistent, and that's the key. I would probably post once a week and wondered why I wasn't getting any leads from it. My hair doesn't look right. I didn't like my dress. I didn't like how I was stood. Understanding that a lot of my clients come to me because it's me. What I've learned is no one blows your trumpet for you. You've got to do it yourself.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Money Honey Show with me, your host, Rosalia Lazzaretilli. And today I'm really, really excited to be speaking to a finance professional, a property finance professional who has built their brand on social media and has proven herself right. She was committed to the journey. She was committed to this transformation in her business, and she managed to build a brand and stay consistent with her content and get leads out of it. And I know she's smashing it because I can see her and I follow her journey every single day on LinkedIn. But I thought this episode would be really powerful for many of you listening out there, whether you are in property or finance or in law. You're probably looking at social media like, oh, how do they do it? How does it work? Like, does it even work? Is it even worth it? Is it even worth spending the money and the time investing into it? And you're doubting yourself and you're making excuses. And then I hear you guys, sometimes you're looking at everyone else like, oh, but I don't like how they're doing it. Or I'm never going to be like her, or I'm never going to be like him. And you talk yourself out of it. You're like, nah, it doesn't work. So this particular guest is putting in, or I'm not taking any credit whatsoever, but I have to mention that the reason I know she's working hard is because we have had some coaching together. She's come to my event, the Social Selling Hive. I've done a one-to-one with her, but believe me when I say she's making it happen. I've had so many coaching sessions with people before, and I tell them what to do, and then they're like, yeah, and they don't do it. And then it'll probably be my fault. They'll be like, yeah, she wasn't that good. And I'm like, no, but I'm amazing. I'm freaking awesome. You just have to do what I tell you to do. And if you actually do it, then you'll be smiling like my guest today. So she's going to be the one to tell you the truth of like the highs and lows of social media from her perspective, because I think sometimes people find it maybe not relatable when I talk about social media, because they're like, yeah, well, it's easy for you. You dress up in yellow and it looks natural to you. And you might not resonate with that. You might think that I'm talking BS because you can't do what I do. But that's why I brought a guest on today who is probably and has been in your shoes, right? Running a business, balancing life and family, come from a retail and corporate background. So she actually started working at HSBC. And let's face it, like HSBC aren't exactly going to teach you how to build a personal brand and how to post on LinkedIn, right? So she definitely didn't come from that kind of background. But then she started her own business, met her partner, John, got married. And now what came from banking to now building her own brokerage. But she does say she's not your typical banker or broker. So we're going to see what makes her different and what makes her successful at building her brand and how she's done it. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce you to the wonderful Faye Haynes. How are you doing?
Hi, Ros. Hi, thank you. I'm good.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, Faye. Now, I've given an intro, but please, for those people who don't know, give us an intro yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Thank you. It was a very good intro, very kind. I'm Faye Haynes, owner of Haynes Haynes Commercial Finance, based locally in the Northwest in Wigan. However, we do have a national client base, national presence, access to the whole market of lenders, and ultimately we source finance for businesses. So come from a banking background, went into broking, and then we've had our business now for the past 6 years. And we source everything from startup finance, predominantly property, bridging, development, exit strategies, and a little bit of consultancy thrown in as well.
Love it. Amazing. So you've definitely got the experience. You've definitely got the knowledge when it comes to building well, giving advice really and finding the right products for your clients. Who are your typical clients then, Faye? Just
Yeah.
clarify that for me. Who do you
So
typically
to
work
be
with?
honest, because we have a really broad kind of spectrum of who we source finance for, it can be anyone looking to set up a business. So it could be someone who's just kind of left college, university, they're looking at doing maybe a side hustle, they need some startup funding, some grants, some loans. We can look at that minimum size of about 15, 20,000. But then we also do, commercial properties, development properties, anything up to 1 to 5 million pounds as well. So there isn't really a specific client that we would help or work with. It's just anyone who's looking at setting up a business or growing and expanding the business.
Fabulous. Yeah. So business owners, either experienced or starting out. What about
Yeah,
property
yeah, property
investors?
investors. So again, we'll look at there's lenders out there. Everyone's got to start off somewhere, Roz. So it could be someone who's a first-time landlord, and they've never done it before, or it could be someone who's an experienced property landlord. They've got an extensive property portfolio. We can look at that. We can refinance it. We can, take money from it so that they can, buy future properties, and that's commercial, residential, semi-commercial, what HMOs at the moment. That's a hot topic. And then, as I said, developers as well looking to develop their own property.
Yeah, love it. Amazing. So we've got the context of, what your forte is. Like we said, you've come from a banking background, and then all of a sudden you become a broker, and suddenly social media seems to be
Yeah,
part of your job role. And you're probably thinking, huh? Like, what? Why? So talk me through your journey a bit. How did you feel about social media at the beginning? Were you putting it off? And yeah, just bring me back to the first moments of you discovering social media. Were you hesitant to it,
absolutely,
or?
absolutely. I mean, you know me now well enough. I'm a self-confessed technophobe. I have social media predominantly for Facebook, Instagram. I had a LinkedIn profile back from my banking days, and apart from that, I was very much of the ilk that LinkedIn was professional, Facebook, Instagram was personal, and I didn't link the two together. And it just got to the point where I was seeing what other people were doing on social media. So I set up kind of the business page, and then ultimately, just I suppose getting outside your comfort box. I wasn't. I didn't really know how to post. I didn't know how to really sell myself and develop my brand. I know you're still waiting for me to do a video, and it is coming. It is. That's my next step. That's my next step.
I love how she's checking in with her homework. She's checking in with me like I haven't even
Yeah,
said
I know
anything,
you're
but
waiting.
you're already like, I know, miss, I know I need
Yeah,
to
I
do
know
my
you're waiting
homework.
for it, but yeah, it was meeting you last year and obviously doing our workshop, and it was just not being frightened about what you post. Some of the things you said really resonated with me in that you post nothing silly. Nothing is a silly post unless you make it that way, and it's gone in 24 hours. So just post, be consistent. Be really consistent, and that's the key. I would probably post once a week and wondered why I wasn't getting any leads from it, not following up with people who were direct messaging me and wondering why I wasn't kind of attracting, the audience that I wanted to attract. So ultimately, yeah, it's just being consistent and not being frightened of annoying people, which I think was my fear of, oh, what's she posting about again? What's she on here for? Literally every person I speak to speaks so positively about what I'm doing, and they'll ring me up and they're like, Faye, you're everywhere. We see you everywhere. And yeah, some of it is really kind of personal, reportable stuff. John likes playing golf. I don't like him playing golf, but I'll post about it. I'm the one in the office doing the work, and it just works. And the amount of business that I've received the last day, you told me to do it for 3 months, be consistent for 3 months, and I've done it since January, and we're now in August, and the amount of kind of leads that's generated from people who don't know me, people who've never met me, and they've just contacted me and said, I've seen you on social media. So it really does work.
Oh, you've no idea how proud I am, and I'm so happy for you. Like, honestly, I'd never met you before either, and you were tagged into a post. So I
Mhm.
was advertising the Social Selling Hive, which is for anyone who doesn't know, I'm relaunching it again in
Yeah.
yeah, you came to the Manchester one in 2024. And I'm actually doing Manchester again in 2025 in November, back again at the Together
Mhm.
Money offices. So that workshop is running again, and it's literally a 1 day. Well, how would you explain it? What does that
I mean,
workshop?
it was
What is
just
it?
really, for me, it was really friendly. So I hadn't done any kind of sales selling course since I was employed. So we'd been in business for 5 years. So for me, and I'm sure you'll appreciate, Ros, it's a big investment. You know, it's when it's your money, it's an
Yeah, yeah,
investment.
yeah.
So for me, it was kind of
Oh,
trusting the
absolutely.
process, finding the right workshop, and it was just so kind of chill. Like there was no, I went in there, everyone was so friendly. You know, the guest speakers were fantastic. You know, Colin Horton, Anastasia. You know, it was just really good people that were there that kind of have followed my journey since as well. And it was just so informative. So, you know, I was that much of a technophobe. I'd never heard of Chat GPT since November last year. And it was just like, what is this tool that I can now use? And it was just a really good, you know, you was what should we be invested in as a product? What shouldn't we be investing in as a product to help with kind of your brand and social media? But I think the 2 hours afterwards that I had with you as well were just amazing. Like I got so much from that one-on-one 2 hours. It was great.
And that's when I saw you
Mhm.
change. And that's the difference between anyone can go to a course and sit there. And that's the thing. My workshop is not a course. It was called workshop for a reason. Hence Faye's talking about homework, because you have to do your work in order and to see results. You have to implement it. So the Social Selling Hive is a 1 day intensive workshop where you come to discover all my hacks and top tips and secrets for how to build your brand on social media, what to post, how to post it, how to get AI to help you to post it. And that's what we did in 1 day. And we even did like LinkedIn lead generation DMs and a content calendar. So you get to practice it in action. And so Faye brought her laptop, her diary, everything, and we were working for the day. And on site, we also have a videographer, because then we have the camera confidence piece, right? So Faye, you did have a chance to practice a little bit. We probably had 10 minutes together to practice in front of the camera how to deliver a video. I believe you absolutely smashed it. You didn't post it. That's fair enough. You're not alone. I think 100% of the people that came to the workshop didn't post the video. Although they loved it, there's still that barrier between, okay, I've learned how to do video versus I'm comfortable posting and getting that feedback publicly. Is that something that perhaps you were hesitating on
Yeah,
as well?
absolutely. I mean, again, the fact that I was like, my hair doesn't look right. I didn't like my dress. I didn't like how I was stood. You know, the key important things for us was what stood out. But yeah, it was just completely out of my comfort zone doing the video. But then also a really interesting experience as well to, you know, you helped me massively on the video in that you was prompting me of what to say and when, and then to see how it all comes together at the end, because I'm thinking I'm talking in different sentences here and I don't know how this is going to work, but then how it's edited and then put together is just, you know, it was really good to see the finished product. But yeah, like I said, quite nervy to post it.
Yeah, and that's normal, hun. Like, so many people are, come to our content days. Obviously, I only had 10 minutes with you in front of the camera, and you only had one video. So that's the
Yeah.
workshop day. But if you had a one-to-one, we'd be doing 20 videos together. And I'm sure out of those, you'd live. And that's the difference. 100% of my clients who have come to the full content day creation one-to-one have posted 100% of their videos. So they've gone from not posting any to having a full day. And then they're like, someone call Hollywood. I am ready. Like, they're literally transformed. So, and that's part of the homework. That's the action part. So if you've not been practicing videos, you're never going to feel good because you're not doing them. But yeah, our one-to-one was really exceptional, because as in I really enjoyed it, because I got to find out a bit more about you and your business and, your personality and your husband. I see you posting a lot about you and your husband, that power couple, married couple, doing business and life together. And I think that's really relatable. Is that what
Yeah,
people are picking
absolutely.
up
I mean,
on?
it's just me and John. You know, there's no kind of corporate back office team. It's always just been me and him. Team Haynes, and I think people buy into that as well. You know, that is one of our USPs in that we're a husband and wife team. You know, we're a family business. There's no side hustle. There's no extra income. There's no extra jobs coming from anywhere. It's literally all or nothing. Me and him, and yeah, that's just how we work.
Love it. Yeah, no, you and John are. In fact, actually, it was John who bought a ticket. That was it. It was John who bought the ticket and then was like, "Can my wife come to it?" Faye, I
Yeah,
was like, "Yeah." But it's so funny that you were like, "Oh, I didn't like my hair that day. I didn't like my dress." Literally, me and my mum, the first thing we said was, "Oh my God, she's gorgeous. Like, look at her hair. Look how she's dressed." Like, and it's funny how you saw yourself once you watched your video back. You saw yourself as like not your best day, but we saw you and we were like, she's stunning, like absolutely gorgeous. And it just goes to show you're always going to be your best, like your
yeah,
worst critic. Sorry. You're always like, even before pressing record, I said to you, I feel bald because I haven't got my eyelashes on or my mascara because I've got hay fever today and I just don't feel very pretty. But, you know, I'm showing
yeah.
up anyway. I think that's why people think I'm confident because even when I don't feel my best, I just show up
Yeah, I think you
anyway.
have to. You have to, don't you? And I think the videos will come. I'm so confident now in posting. You know, so it's a case of, you know, you like it, you don't like it. In 24 hours, there's new news, and I think I'll get to that point with the videos. And some will look great. Some will look,
Well, you know where I am if we ever need to, yeah, if we need to
yeah,
level it up and we need to do something a bit more intense, you know where I am. But I know you've had like a photo shoot and you've had some professional photos and stuff. You know, just sometimes, you know, that it just takes time to learn what the camera looks like, how it moves, how you move. Obviously, your angles as well. Like, don't get me wrong, like there's so many pictures and videos that I have discarded. I am
yeah,
telling you now, they are not coming out in public because if I'm going to be that upset about looking at myself, I'm not going to post it. But I've come to learn to be less. I can't be a perfectionist when it comes to photos and videos because it's going to cost me too much money and it's going to take me too much time, which inevitably costs me too much money because time is money. So I've become less critical of photos and videos because I'm like, it's just got to go out. Like we've just got to, you know, do our best. So that's the only thing I would say about it being different. So tell me, how exactly do you then become comfortable with posting? Like, what is your LinkedIn strategy now? Like, since our discussion, what do you do to stay on top of it, stay consistent, and generate
I
leads?
mean, I
What do
think
you do?
there's a fine balance, and we touched on this right at the beginning. There's a fine balance between keeping it professional and business, but then understanding that a lot of my clients come to me because it's me, not John, not Haynes and Haynes. It's Faye, and people buy people. And again, you know, you taught me there's little things, you know, throw a dog post on there, throw a picture of Ronnie, you know, the office junior. It's like people, you'll get your clicks, you'll get the comments. Don't necessarily generate business, but what it does is it gets people talking. People will then look at my profile, and it's just them following it through. So having a look, who's clicked at my profile, am I connected with them? What do they do? What can they do for me? What can I do for them? Reaching out to them. So if they're viewing my profile, how before I just think they're a little bit nosy and block them, now I'm actually thinking, well, they're actually viewing my profile for a reason. They might just not want to introduce themselves. So I'm doing that as well. I've noticed you've viewed my profile. Is there anything I can help you
Yes.
with? And then it's just striking up a conversation. Um, as I said, my personable posts, there's a lot of them. That's what gets me most traction, and sometimes it's with my network, but then it does attract the outside network as well, talking about deals that I've done, completions. So they're my boring posts, if I'm honest. Those are the ones that I feel I have to do as a business
Yeah.
owner, but it's telling people what I've done. So, you know, this director had adverse credit, this property, you know, failed planning, but we were still able to do it. This property had fire damage. You know, this investor had been let down at the 11th hour, but then we managed to get another property and get it complete in 28 days. You know, it's things like that that kind of strike a chord with clients, and they think, well, if you can help them, maybe you can help me.
That you're literally my best student. I'm so proud of you. Literally, you're like saying exactly, you've learned the theory, and you've written it down, but then you've actually applied it. And that's what's amazing about the results that you're getting. Because without applying it, I can tell you all these theoretics and these like tactics, but until you try it, you're not going to see it for yourself. So yes, I totally agree with you. People buy from people. I always say that and I always will. I've always been in business development. So I build businesses, which means I have to, the primary focus is, yes, brand awareness, but actually the primary focus is pipeline. I need the pipeline, but you can't get the pipeline if you haven't got the awareness. Like I literally just spoke to a law firm about sponsorship for some stuff that we're doing. And they were like, I mean, they said, we've done well and people kind of know who we are, but I don't think people know us enough. And they were like, so we need to now invest in brand awareness, because brand awareness will start the funnel and trickle in the leads that we need. Now, if brand awareness for you means like, the way I see social media and how to build a brand on social media is like a barbecue, right? Imagine a friends and family barbecue, right? You get invited, it's summertime, and your friend says, come on over, I'm having a barbecue. There'll be loads of people there and we'll have a great time. You turn up at the barbecue, you know your friend and you know your friend's cousin, but then there's a bunch of people that you've never met before, that you've never seen, and suddenly you're forced to have a conversation with them, right? You get a couple of beers or a drink, you're like, right, come on, we need to chat to these people. And you get chatting and chatting and chatting, and before you know it, they have now become your extended friends or your extended network. So your friends of friends of friends who have been invited to this barbecue are now aware of who you are. That's the power of networking on social media, is that if me and you are connected and engage with each other's content, then my network will see your network, and then our friends will see each other. And then before you know it, people will have seen your post. They don't know how they met you. They don't know how they saw you, but suddenly they look at your profile and think, yeah, I need your service. Let's get in touch.
No,
So that's my analogy for explaining the algorithm. It's like an online barbecue. Literally, your friends are there and your friends of friends are there, but also there's people you've never met before. And if you start posting and engaging, you're telling the algorithm, I want these people to see me, connect us, and then the relationship starts from there. Would you say
absolutely.
that's a fair analogy, Faye?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Fabulous. So tell me what else is in the pipeline for Haynes and Haynes. Where are you going? What you do? You've built your brand. You've got comfortable with content now. You're on LinkedIn. You're all over. What's
I mean, to be
next?
honest, it's staying relevant, staying consistent. We've had a really good year this year, and I think I'm going to take full credit for it. Just in the, in the sense,
So yes, girl, that is money, honey
just
attitude. Yeah, love it.
what I've learned is no one blows your trumpet for you. You've got to do it yourself. And we have, we've tirelessly worked and worked and worked. And sometimes, family life has suffered and there's just not enough hours in the day. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all. And this year is, since COVID, we did our first year, then we hit COVID. We had a couple of, not so great years. And it's only really been the last 12 to 18 months where we're like, this is it. We're back. We're back to where we was in year one. But with that, it's the social media is a massive part to play and the marketing to do that. We did 5 years last year, so we rebranded then. We had a bit of a party to kind of celebrate those who's been there with us from day one. So our clients, our introducers, our lending network. But this year has just been phenomenal, really. Just clients coming back to us, which that speaks volumes. Not only did they trust us in the very beginning, they're now trusting us again for deal 2, deal 3, deal 4, some even 5, 6. So for us, it's just to stay consistent and just keep pushing as we are doing. We don't have ambition to grow the team and kind of disappear in the background. It's literally us, and that's what we just want to continue pushing forward.
Thanks for saying that, because like a lot of people, when we talk about scaling a business, I'm hearing a lot of people lately. First, two things I've picked up from what you've said. A lot of people are actually owning the fact that they want to stabilize, like they want to stay as they are, but more consistent, more focused, and keep and sustain the business, you know, because often people in business or entrepreneurs are always talking about what's next, what's bigger, how can you double your business, how can you grow your rent. And actually sometimes the success is doing the same as you did last year. Imagine maintaining this year what you did last year. That's success, because you
Yeah.
haven't gone backwards, and perhaps you get better systems, or you get more time back, or you're sustaining something and having more practice. Yeah, so love that point, because you know, every year my business has been growing and growing, and sometimes it's growing in doubles, like as
Yeah.
in like every year has doubled the year before, and I'm like, no wonder I'm tired. But sometimes like now I'm looking at, okay, but I don't mind doing the same. I don't mind keeping my business where it's at, but maybe like streamlining a few more things and doing it a bit more thoroughly, right? So that's, love that, 100% with you. The other thing you've mentioned is it's just you two. And it's just Faye, or you, and it's the word just isn't enough. Like, it's not the right word, because I often see that people ask me, so Ros, is the business just about you? Like, how are you going to scale that? And what happens if you want to step back? And I'm like, but why would I want to step back from
Yeah.
something I enjoy doing? What else am I going to do? Like, literally, what else am I going to do if this is what I love doing? And I think the mindset there, Faye, is that a lot of brokers, I do see this more in brokerages, that they start a business that they want to sell, and that's absolutely fine. But I see the energy of how they're looking to build it as not like, it's not them in it forever. Like, they're building it as something they want to grow and sell, which is absolutely fine. But I think that sometimes does come across in the way that they manage their relationships, their networking events, their social media. They are not the
No,
brand. Does that
absolutely. And
make
I think unless you
sense?
have a hands-on approach, why do clients come to brokers? Because they don't have a bank manager. They don't have a relationship manager to go to. So as
Yeah.
soon as we start to grow a team and take a step back, we've straight away lost that personal touch with that client, and we're then trusting someone else to do it for us. That's not why clients buy into broking. They want you to be their bank manager. You're their trusted advisor. You're their surveyor, their solicitor, their accountant, all rolled into one. And to kind of take a step back, it's just not going to work, in my opinion.
100% with you. 100%. And if you are looking to build your business and sell it and move on, that's absolutely okay. But it's also okay, and it's also a great strategy to feel like you want to be in it forever. Like,
Yeah.
that's okay too. And I love that for you. I really do. I'm so excited to see where you go next. Thank you for coming to
Thank
share
you.
your story on how, as complete newbie to social media, in like, even though you had that corporate backing of HSBC, and you've got the success in terms of delivering results, you still had that imposter feeling of posting about it, because you said, no one teaches you how to put yourself out there, how to sell yourself. And you've done it with such class, such personality. It doesn't feel salesy at all. I wouldn't have described it as how to sell yourself. I never use that terminology, because you're not selling yourself. You're not. You're attracting your people. You're attracting people that relate to you. So well
Okay.
done, Faye. Really, really appreciate your
No,
time with
thank you very
me.
much. Thank you.
Right. Well, there you have it, guys. Whether you are a broker, a lawyer, a property investor, and you're thinking, I felt like that too. Like, I will never post a video. I look ridiculous. I'm not comfortable, or I don't. I do care about what people think, and I'm nervous about the retaliation. Faye now is 6 months into building her brand on social media, and she has said that her pipeline has skyrocketed. So I don't think, when she's counting the deals and looking at her pipeline, I don't think she's thinking about, I wonder what that LinkedIn post, no. Like, the point is, she's building a life, she's building a business, and she's using the platforms and the tools available to help her get there. And I think once you start seeing the results, you have to be willing, though, to go through the hard times. You can't just expect the results to come in and be like, look, do you know what? I'll do it for a couple of months. If it doesn't work, I'll give up. Well, then it's not going to work. It absolutely isn't going to work. You have to stay on top of it. So do what you can at the beginning to make it, do what feels comfortable. But Faye nailed it. You have to get outside your comfort zone, because if you keep doing what you keep doing, you're always going to get the same results, right? So step out your comfort zone. Hopefully Faye has inspired you, as she's made me incredibly proud, but hopefully she's inspired you to take one little action today in putting yourself out there. So thanks again, Faye, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you on the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can actually stay up to date with each and every weekly episode. Thanks everyone.